Hello, I'm Dr. Pravallika, Ayurvedic doctor at Akkineni Hospitals. I hope you're doing well. Let's explore some important insights today. Please stay tuned and make notes.
All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're looking at the Ayurvedic foundation of immunity and how this ancient wisdom actually gives us a completely scientifically backed blueprint to fight off the modern crisis of burnout. I mean, we're living in a time where feeling chronically fatigued or constantly catching a cold feels, well, almost inevitable, right? But what if the fix isn't just another quick hack? What if it's a comprehensive system of deep resilience that was literally mapped out over 2,000 years ago? Today, we're going to see exactly how this incredible ancient framework holds up against modern clinical science. But before we get into the fun stuff, the specific herbs and daily habits, we really have to start with one fundamental question. What is the ultimate essence of immunity? This is the question that perfectly bridges ancient texts and modern science. It forces us to look way beyond just, fighting off a winter sniffle. Instead, it challenges us to understand what actually gives our bodies the foundational strength to sustain life and adapt to all the crazy stress we deal with. And what's absolutely fascinating here is how the ancient concept of Ojas maps so perfectly onto our modern understanding of the immune system and neuroendocrine regulation. In Ayurvedic physiology, Ojas isn't just some abstract, mystical idea. It's actually considered the finest, most refined product of your entire metabolic cascade. Think of it as the ultimate expression of good digestion and tissue health. It's described as the essence that literally gives your skin its glow, gives your mind sharp clarity, and builds deep resilience against disease. Basically, it's your body's adaptive capacity to handle whatever life throws at it. And this connection is brilliantly clear when you look at the symptoms. The classical Ayurvedic symptoms of low ojas, things like chronic fatigue, frequent infections, lingering anxiety, poor wound healing, and even premature aging, well, those are exactly what a modern doctor looks for when diagnosing immunodeficiency and allergies today. In Ayurveda, the whole game is building up your ojas to prevent disease, not just treating it after the fact. It's all about making sure you have a full tank of resilience. Okay, moving into section 1, the threat. Let's look at what's actually draining your ojas. It is honestly incredible that this 2,000-year-old checklist works as such a spot-on modern lifestyle audit. Things like excessive physical or mental exertion, chronic negative emotions like anger or fear, extreme fasting, sexual excess, chronic illness, not getting enough sleep, trauma, and even incompatible food combinations, they all map remarkably well onto modern immunology. It shows us with laser precision how chronic stress, sleep deprivation, and extreme diets are measurably suppressing our immune function right now, today. So, section 2. Let's talk solutions with the herbal arsenal Rasayana therapy. Our very first superhero in this herbal arsenal is Chyawanprash. This is a concentrated herbal jam made from over 40 different herbs, all built on a base of amla or amalaki. And modern analysis tells us exactly why this works so well. It is absolutely packed with vitamin C and polyphenols. Clinical trials actually show that it actively increases your natural killer cell activity, along with your IgG and IgM levels. Taking just 1 or 2 teaspoons of this daily, usually with some warm milk, visibly reduces how often you get respiratory infections and how long they last. Next up is ashwagandha. This is truly the premier Ayurvedic adaptogen. If your goal is to boost physical recovery and just absolutely crush inflammation, this is your go-to for sure. Clinical evidence shows standardized extracts of ashwagandha significantly increase T-cell proliferation and even improve your VO2 max. But more importantly, it actively drives down inflammatory markers in your blood, specifically CRP and IL-6. It's just a total powerhouse for systemic physical recovery. Now, I really want to pause on this number right here, 30%. Clinical data shows that in chronic stress studies, ashwagandha significantly reduces cortisol, which remember is your primary stress hormone, by a full 30%. When you consider that chronic stress is the #1 thing depleting your immune resilience, lowering your systemic cortisol by nearly a third is literally a game changer for your daily health. Let's move on to guduchi, which is traditionally known as amrita, or divine nectar. Guduchi is basically the ultimate immune enhancer. It's got these powerful active compounds like tinnisporin and berberine that enhance phagocytic activity. In plain English, that means it helps your immune cells actively hunt down and consume harmful pathogens. And because it's so good at reducing chronic inflammation and allergic rhinitis symptoms, it's heavily relied upon in clinical practice right now for recurrent infections, autoimmune conditions, and even for supporting viral recovery. Then, of course, we have Tulsi, or holy basil. This is widely considered India's most revered medicinal plant, and honestly, for good reason. It is packed with active compounds like eugenol and rosmarinic acid. Tulsi acts as a direct, everyday shield for your body. It's antiviral, it's antibacterial, and it acts as a COX2 inhibitor, which means it is strongly anti-inflammatory. Clinical studies actually verify that having a daily Tulsi tea or extract directly reduces the frequency of respiratory infections, and it even decreases how long fevers last. Finally, in our herbal lineup, we have Haridra. You probably know this one better as turmeric or curcumin. Haridra is fascinating because it actually modulates both your innate and your adaptive immunity. It reduces pro-inflammatory cytokines and has direct antiviral properties against multiple viruses. But, and this is a really critical takeaway, to actually get these benefits, Haridra has to be made bioavailable. Your body won't just absorb it efficiently on its own. It's best absorbed when you combine it with black pepper, known as piperine, or when you take it in a fat-soluble formulation. Okay, section 3. We're looking at the foundation, lifestyle as medicine.
You know, it is just fascinating how perfectly ancient Ayurvedic lifestyle pillars map right onto modern biological functions. Take sleep, for example. Ayurveda considers it one of the 3 pillars of life, recommending 7 to 8 hours and specifically getting to bed before 10 p.m. And modern science confirms exactly why we need to do that. Growth hormone release, cortisol normalization, and vital immune memory consolidation, all of that happens primarily during deep sleep. And we see that same perfectly aligned mapping for our nutrient-dense food choices and our stress management habits too.
When we talk about that food pillar, we're talking about deeply nourishing Ojas building ingredients. Things you can almost taste right now, like warm spiced milk with a little ghee, raw unheated honey, dates, and soaked peeled almonds. In modern nutritional terms, these are highly nutrient-dense, easily digestible foods. They don't tax your digestive system. Instead, they immediately get to work nourishing your tissues and building up your energy reserves. And then, of course, there is the mental component. Anyone who has ever been burnt out knows that chronic stress is the absolute ultimate enemy of Ojas. Because of that, daily practices like meditation, yoga, and pranayama, which is breathwork, they aren't just optional relaxation techniques. They are required clinical interventions. Studies consistently show these specific practices lower your cortisol, increase your anti-aging DHEA hormones, and improve your vagal tone, which actively pulls your body out of that immune-draining fight-or-flight sympathetic dominance.
We've seen how this comprehensive framework seamlessly blends ancient wisdom with modern clinical evidence, creating a completely holistic system for resilience. So I'm going to leave you with this. As you look at your own life and the unique stressors you face every day, what is one practice, whether it's getting to bed before 10 p.m., adding some ashwagandha to your routine, or just taking 5 minutes for breath work, that you will start today to reclaim your ojas?